Hi everyone. Hope you guys are doing fine today. I'm doing good. I think that I got something good for you today. We are going to talk a little bit shortly about Candace Owens, right? I hope I'm not going to take a long time because sometime um, I want to do something that is a little bit like 10 minutes and I start drifting, and this is not good. So, yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Candace Owens because, man, that woman, she is a stud, man. She's a stud. She's like I don't know, man. She's got more balls than all of these guys from Congress, all of them combined. No competition. She's a straight out gangster, right? So I heard that, yeah, she used to talk about against black people, that she's on the right of the political spectrum. That's an issue. Um, and to me, to be honest with you, I mean, it makes no difference. Maybe it's something that I'm gonna have to educate myself on. But at the end of the day, what I think is that you cannot agree with someone 100% of the time, and you definitely cannot disagree with someone 100% of the time. So it doesn't really impact or matter to what she's doing right now. And what she's doing right now, when we're talking about like the Palestinian conflict, and we're talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination, you got to admit hands down that she's doing a great and amazing job, and that she's raking it. She's just raking it. And if we take specifically the Charlie Kirk assassination, right? When I'm telling you that she's making a lot of people nervous, I mean, you got a lot of people that want to shut her up. Already, they want to shut her up for the Israeli, for her position on the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, right? And you know that for sure they want to shut her up for that. But now she's attacking one of their biggest warship, which is basically TPUSA, through our investigation of the Charlie Kirk assassination, right? And you know that, man, they cannot allow that, right? They cannot allow that. And I'm going to tell you something about that stuff, right? About the Charlie Kirk assassination, because it's not going to stop there, right? There's two things that I want to talk to you about, actually. I'm going to talk to you about like the Charlie Kirk assassination, and on the rebound about TPUSA, because it's kind of connected, right? So, for the Charlie Kirk assassination, guys, I'm going to tell you straight up, that woman, Candace Owens, she is going to find out who's behind that assassination. I'm telling you, she's going to find out who's behind that assassination. And that's why those guys are nervous. They don't know what to expect from Candace Owens. They thought they knew, right? They thought they knew what to expect from her. They call her liar when she started to say that Charlie Kirk wanted to jump ship. That she had certain text messages about a certain meeting somewhere and stuff like that, right? So they started saying that she doesn't have nothing. So they started attacking her and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, after she let them talk, she was patient, and that's what actually what she said in one of her talk show, right? One of her podcasts, that she was just sitting back, taking popcorns and just watching movie, which is like all these guys coming out one after another saying that Candice Owens has nothing, she's just talking because this, because that. No, Charlie Kirk was a fervent Israel follower. For him, Israel was everything, and a supporter of Israel, ride and die, and all that stuff. Well, okay, she let them talk. She was patient. She let them talk. And a certain day, time, paf, she dropped the bomb, right? She released the messages. She released the texts, right? She released everything. So we could see now who was telling the truth or who was lying. And he was straight in the open. I mean, there was no more argument. You already throw out your lies, right? And now here's the truth. Combine and make your own opinion about it, people, right? Which is pretty black and white, if you ask me, right? So right now, what's going on is that people don't know what to expect from Candace Owens. They don't know what she's going to bring on the table. And what, like she said, you know, like she said, she's not going. She's patient. She's not going to throw everything right now in the open. She has, at least she has shown that she's got stuff, and she has warned people. She has warned people. You better come clean, because when I'm going to decide to go all out, right? That wave is going to take everybody. Yeah. That wave is going to take like all of you, right? So you better come clean. And to be honest with you, people are very scared because, like I said, they don't know now. They don't know what to expect from her. They don't know what she has. They don't know what she has against them. So basically, right now she can just bluff the hell out, right? And they wouldn't know. And when they think that she's bluffing, she's gonna bring out the receipts. Boom, in your face, right? So if I was them, I would be nervous too. If I was them, I would be nervous too. And there's so much that is a stake, you know. If she, on her way to discover, you know, who is behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, especially if the suspicions are directed against like certain people from TPUSA or a certain nation, a certain country. That's all I gotta say. Now, so that's why. So that is going to close the TPU the Charlie Kirk assassination stuff. I'm telling you guys, mark my word. She's going to find out who is it. I mean, she's got such a huge following, such a huge, humongous following, right? And she was so close to Charlie Kirk, right? And people from TPUSA, and she was already there. She know how it works and certain things, if it makes sense, doesn't make sense, and so on and so forth, right? And she knows so many people that in the people she knows, there are people that are in the army, people that are investigators, policemen, maybe people that are working on the case, maybe FBI people that are in there and stuff. So she will find out. I'm telling you straight up, she will find out who assassinated Charlie Kirk. 100%. I will say even 150%. Right? The only reason why right now she's still walking, she's still talking, is because she knows a lot of people, and she just warned people as well that she's not suicidal. No way. She feels well. She loves life. Right? And she sent those stuff to people just as an insurance, as a life insurance. That's why they kind of, holding themselves up. And actually, to be honest with you right now, if I was like people like she's pointing the finger out, right? Whether it is on the Palestinian, and like I say, I mean, especially there's something, she's kind of pointing the finger. I mean, there's a conspiracy at the end of the day, man. In the sense that there's the FBI is hiding a lot of stuff, right? TPUSA is hiding a lot of stuff, not answering a lot of question. The FBI is not answering a lot of question, and Israel is answering too much questions, right? And all these followers, the Shapiro, the ADL, the APAC, and all their corrupt people that they have, whether it is in Congress or the politicians, right, are all coming after Candace Owens, right? And themselves, they're talking too much, right? So you have people that don't talk enough, like the FBI and the FBI and TPUSA, and when they come to talk, they're talking about nonsense, right? And you have Israel and their followers and their mouthpieces, that are basically talking too much. They're talking when we don't ask them to talk. They're saying stuff when we don't ask for those stuff, right? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting to watch because right now it seems to me at least, right? Because I was watching example I was watching example the interview of Erica Kirk on what's his name, Jesse Waters, right? And again, the boundary is very slim between Charlie Kirk assassination, TPUSA. That's the same thing. Let's put everything on the same in the same ballpark, in the same ball game, and just But I'm going to jump from one to another, right? So yeah, so I was watching that interview of Erica Kirk and on Jesse Waters. And if you go in the comments, right, first of all, there's a lot of buts, right? Like BB said, buts, right? Buts by Israel, I guess, right? There's a lot of buts, right? But when you look at other type of comments in there, real comments, right? They say that, oh man, I don't feel that woman. I don't feel it, right? I'm not sure she's telling the truth. And even then, like, we want to know answers, right? And they want to know what TPUSA is not doing more to try to find out what really happened to Charlie Kirk. And they understand, they heard like we heard, and they followed that interview like we followed that interview of the reason she's talking about wanting people to let her grieve in peace, that yes, there's a lot of stuff that she's seen that tells her that, yeah, Tommy, I don't know what's his name, Robinson, I guess, or Tommy, I don't know what's his name, right, is the killer, is the real killer. Well, you know what I mean. But when you look at the comments, people did not believe her. People did not believe her, and that's where I'm going to jump to TPUSA. And TPUSA, this, I mean, you need to understand that this is serious, and that this is a case where, truth be told, if you're a certain person or organization or nation, right, that kind of have ideological control and executive control without even having executive control, but you kind of have a control on the content and on the narrative of TPUSA. TPUSA is a warship. TPUSA is a warship when you know how to steer it, and that you can steer it to do your own bidding. This is crazy, right? People don't understand that. And maybe I didn't understand it myself before. But TPUSA is a warship. It's the future, it's the present, it's the past, it's everything, right? It's a warship, right? So yes, you can understand now why, if the CEO of that, first of all, let's yeah, I'm going to say it, and after that I'm going to rewind back and take another. I mean, you can understand why such a powerful structure, right, that can influence millions of people upon millions of people, that is building chapter after chapter in the entire USA, right? Influencing young generation like the present one, like the future one, right? Could be a reason why somebody would like to take out anybody who's trying to derail that program, right? It's very important. I mean, you need to understand this. The wars, the conflict in Palestine open up in broad daylight. People start to go into, don't understand really the issue, right? I mean, they just see that, Hamas fighters went into Israel, captured 250 civilians, went back to Gaza. A lot of people died, civilians, like military. You can argue, because you talk to Israelis, sometimes they say that all Israel is the IDF. And then you talk to the meaning that everybody is a soldier. So I guess it says what it says. and you say something on the other side that okay, there was civilian dead. No worries. Okay, I mean it's a worry, but no worries, in the sense that this is not the point that I was trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make, the point that I'm trying to make here, and it's very important. It's a very important point, right? People didn't know about the Palestinian issue. It was under the rug, and people were getting killed. Palestinian was getting killed day in and day out without anybody noticing it. Even less a guy like Piers Morgan, for who history started on October 7th. But nobody was lifting a finger. Nobody was lifting an eyebrow about the hundreds of deaths before October 7th, right? So they didn't know. So they woke up. So a lot of, an entire generation of people, generations, I would say, of people, woke up that morning and saw that on TV and say, what the fuck? Man, these guys are crazy. They're criminals. They're this and that. Animals. You know? This went on for about a day, a week. And then receipts started to come out. Right? 1948. Kasled. Sabra Shatila. West Bank. Sadler's violence. All that stuff started to come out. People started to learn. People started to go into into Google and the web and trying to find out what's going on. And then you saw the lies of the Israeli government and all that stuff, right? So people educated themselves from a point where they weren't aware of anything and was thinking that these Palestinian animals, barbarian, shouldn't even exist and shouldn't even have the right to live. They understand now that it's the opposite, that these guys have been oppressed for years and years and years of atrocity, of being raped, physically raped, being beheaded, physically beheaded, being controlled, and so on and so forth, right? Taking hostages, prisoners, and so on and so forth. And they understood that now. And now you want to tell them, and also hold on. That's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing. Now you got the ADL and the APAC coming into play. Now people are discovering that their Congress, and understand that their Congress works for Israel, because in this time of war, when there's how do you say that, in the street there is marches in the street, right? People are in the university protesting. Then you kind of see the repression that is going on in America against your own people for the benefit of another nation. That you start to change policies and laws that affect Americans in their own countries for the benefit of another nation. And now you start to understand that, oh man, and you see all these news media, BBC, you see CNN, you see ABC, XZY, that are all on the side of the oppressor. Then you're a smart kid. You're a kid that goes to school, university, to who people have taught right from wrong, understanding that the guy who's cruel, he's the one who puts a freaking knife in your belly, and not the one who's on the floor gasping for air or hanging on to dear life, and that has nothing, no food, no drink, no nothing. So they say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? And they see the politicians in bed taking money, bribes from a certain lobby for the benefit of another country. They see ADL again influencing the policy of the United States to create laws, rules that benefit not only certain countries, but that want to benefit a certain people, right? Although I'm going to say the reason why they want to generalize, this, why this is not to be generalized, right? It's because it's in their interest. It's in their interest that the people who are fighting against them, it's their interest that the people who are fighting against them appear to fight against all of the Jews, right? Which is not the case, obviously, right? All of this to say the following, right? Because you were wondering, like, where is this guy going with all that stuff? Yeah. Well, all of this to say something. And what I'm going to say is that I was calling TPUSA a warship. Remember that, right? It was their crown jewel, I would say. But really, I mean, it was becoming their crown jewel, right? But they had other warship. AIPAC was one of their warship. The ADL was one of their warship. One of their weapon was anti-Semitism, right? Now, let me tell you this. With this young generation here, they understand now that AIPAC is just there to do the bidding of Israel, and that all the politician, every politician now that is taking money from AIPAC is a corrupt one, and is not working for the United States first. They also understand the same thing for the ADL. When the ADL is fighting against racism and all that stuff, they understand that now the ADL is not working for racism. He's trying to fool people, but he's only working for, Israel. And now doing that assimilation about Jews just to make sure that everything that happens, everything is anti-Semitism, right? And that's what they want to tell us. That's where they want to conflict us, right? Well, you know that all the Jews are not, for AIPAC mingling in the business of the USA, or for the ADL the way it is structured now and with its present philosophy, right? Because ADL is not for everybody, So, yeah, they lost kind of two already of their warship, plus one of their prime weapon, which is accusing someone of anti-Semitism, right? I mean, they're still strong. I mean, they got the news media, and even this warship as well. It started to sink, right? I mean, you see, you got all these influencers now on the web. Young people are not following like your mainstream media anymore, and to be honest with you, the mainstream media are going to have to catch back, because they're losing a lot of ground, and losing a lot of ground is going to be being felt by losing a lot of money, right? So yeah, so that's where we're at. They're losing all their warship, and one of their crown jewel, like I was talking about, is TPUSA. Now, TPUSA is just one slogan: make America great again. Not make Israel great again, not make Canada great again, not make Pakistan great again, not make China great again. It's make America great again. And the other slogan of MAGA is America first. The thing that I respect, okay, ma'am, even if I was starting to speak French, my friend, ma'am, the thing that I respect about those MAGA guys, right? Is that they kind of truly believe and are true to those slogans, right? When they mean make America great again, and especially when they say America first, they mean America first, meaning not Israel first, America first. So when they see politicians there, being corrupted, taking money, taking bribe to make law, right, against their own people. Not only they don't make only policies against the blues, they make policies for everyone. So when they make policies that benefit another nation, so that they kill freedom of speech for the American people for the benefit, they say no, man, this is not America first. When they send American people to die for another country, for another nation, you know what, to stabilize the surrounding, let's say, of subjugate maybe it's a better word, to subjugate the countries around, and American children dying, this is not America first. When they feel that a little country, right, in the Middle East is controlling the American Congress and the American political arena, both aisle together, they say that this is a problem. This is not America first. Okay, we know that. This is not America first. And this is the problem now. The problem is that Candace Owens, and I'm coming back to Candace Owens, and now I'm coming back to Candace Owens and TPUSA, right? The problem now is that Candace Owens, right? The problem now is that the captain of the ship, the sheep, right? Do they say sheep? I'm sorry, a little bit French, but captain of the sheep, right? Sheep. I don't know, man. You know what I'm talking about? The boat, the big boat, with weapons and cannons and everything. The captain of that boat, right, was Charlie Kirk. People think that it's going to be easy to replace Charlie Kirk, put Shapiro there, put I don't know, Mickey McCoy or stuff like that, and he's going to be all gravy. You're crazy. You're crazy. I mean, you know what? I didn't like Charlie Kirk that much. I mean, his position about DEI and all of the stuff that he was talking about, to me, was bullcrap. You know what I mean? The only thing that could be good about Charlie Kirk, to be honest with you, I mean, is definitely like the freedom of speech. No matter what they say, let's talk about it. Let's argue about it. Let's have an exchange of ideas, if that makes sense, right? So this, yes. But to be honest with you, I mean, all these guys that are coming to TPUSA, man, they were all behind Charlie Kirk. So if you think that any of these little guys there is going to replace Charlie Kirk, you guys are totally crazy about it. You're crazy. And on top of that, you got Candace Owens now, that is kind of shedding some light, like she's big spotlight on TPUSA, and saying that, man, TPUSA maybe has something to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. At least they not doing enough to try to find out what happened to him. They're not doing enough to try to find out what happened to him. And at worst, man, they might be involved in it. There's a lot of stuff that she said, that she claimed, that was, things that weren't happening in terms of scheduling that TPUSA event in UVU, right? That she says that kind of makes sense, and that comes from her own experience as well. And there's a lot of stuff that she's throwing out there, right? Text messages, right? Videos, stuff like that. She's got also a tip line. Man, I'm telling you, she will find you. She will find who did that, who was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. She will, right? So now you see that, and you see that those MAGA guys are true to their words, meaning that it is America first that we want. We don't want to be controlled by anybody else. We are America first. We want laws for American that benefits American, not that benefits another nation. This doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So now we in a different dynamic now. Totally different dynamic. You got these guys that are trying to understand what's going on in Israel now, with the Palestinian stuff. Now they have to, battle and struggle with the fact that maybe the people now that are in control of TPUSA might be involved in what happened to Charlie Kirk, or at the very least are not doing enough to try to find out what happened to him, and that's make people uneasy. To be honest with you, TPUSA, not sure that it will survive in its present form, though. Not sure. And if it does, believe you and me, the crap about like what's going on, the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, it's going to be something else, right? That crap, it's not going to fly anymore. This, whether it comes from Erica Kirk, whether it comes from Ben Shapiro, whether it comes from this, you need to understand that there's a lot that ship has taken a lot of water, and big holes came into it. And when I say big holes, I'm talking about Candace Owens. I'm talking about also especially Tucker Carlson. And I talk also about I'm talking about also Joe Rogan. I can talk about I can talk Joe Rogan. I can talk about Dave Smith and other people that are but let's say they're not directly related to TPUSA. But if I would take people that are close to, like, let's say Charlie Kirk, like Candace Owens, like Tucker Carlson. I mean, these are big holes that are into that ship, right? So even if TPUSA survives, like I say, in terms of name, brand, it's going to survive, and people are still going to relate to TPUSA, but really want to leave the slogans of TPUSA and be true to those slogans, which are America first and make America great again. They're not going to take that bullshit anymore because they got that pride that they are American. They're not going to take that bull crap that, okay, we need to do this for Israel. We need to go bomb Iraq or Iran for Israel, or we need to go to the Houthis or do this or do that, or we don't have the right to do this in the United States because it's not good for Israel. No, they're not going to agree to that anymore. Flat out, right? So TPUSA in its old form, in my opinion, is never going to be the same. So you can be able to invite all your Josh Hammer and all these guys in there to try to, tell us that, okay, this and that, Israel is your friend, and, these guys are barbarian and all that. People went to school, they know how to use internet, and actually they take their news for Telegram, internet, TikTok, and all that stuff, right? They know what's going on. They know what's going on. You cannot feed them anymore. They know what's going on. They study it, and they know right from wrong, right? They know right from wrong. And the problem is Anyway, I was going to again drift. I was going to drift again because a lot of the people that are talking now know what's going on. They're happy to talk about it now and to take the cash that is coming with it, right? Let's say I'm talking about like maybe those trigonometry guys. Although those trigonometry guys, they got reasons. I mean, they kind of got reasons to be on the side of Israel, even if they know that what is going on is criminal, right? But guys like Destiny, like guys like Tatum, guys like Tommy Robinson and all that, they know that people are getting massacred, right? That it's unfair, that it's not just, that it's wrong, that it's criminal, that it's evil. But they chose, for benefit, for the money. I'm not going to say to be on the wrong side of history, but to be monsters, to be evil. They choose to be evil, to be monsters. That's what they choose. So nobody's going to make me believe that they really believe that it's a fair deal. It's a what's going on over there. Nobody's going to make me believe that, right? A 5-year-old kid, if you put them into that situation and you show him what's going on over there, right? He's going to tell you who's wrong and who's right, right? He's going to tell you who's wrong and who's right. But at the end of the day, all I wanted to say is that, man, hats off to Candace Owens. She's a stud, man. She's tough. She's fearless, and I respect her a lot for that. Right? I think that she's smart, and I do think that she's going to find out who did that to Charlie Kirk, right? And I don't know, but TPUSA. I think that TPUSA, because at the end of the day, don't forget, guys like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are the one who are really living the America first. There's a lot of other influencers who are living the America first. And to be honest with you, if those guys get together, right? I mean, TPUSA is not going to be TPUSA anymore. TPUSA is going to evolve to become another type of ADL or another type of APAC. It cannot remain the same with so much people like Josh Hammer, Shapiro, and other of those people that are Zionists, right? Controlling and founding it, right? It cannot. It just cannot. It's going to organically become another type branch of ADL or APAC. Believe you me, right? So what I predict is that people that are in there are going to feel uneasy because that's not what they signed for. What they signed for was America first. So they're going to they're going to jump back to the Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlson ship and all that, right? And to be honest, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens can actually make something big and build, let's say, something that is similar to to what was supposed to be TPUSA, meaning real America first, which is the most important slogan and the only slogan that makes sense for TPUSA, and the only reason why people are actually signing up for TPUSA. But now, when you see your Josh Hammer, you see your again, like I said, your Shapiro, you see other people that are in that vein, right, in there and making it Israel first, then you have an issue, right? Then you have that big issue. So I was going to say that kudos to Candace. I'm going to stop talking because otherwise I'm never going to stop, right? So I'm going to say kudos to Candace Owens. You rock. And keep going because what you're doing is it's amazing. I know that people are talking this and that. They're trying to muddy the water. They're trying to steer people in wrong directions, but you're keeping your cape. So you're keeping your head up, going straight up. And yeah, I do think that she's going to find out. She's going to find out. So I'm going to say like her, like she said, all you guys that you're involved on it, right? Especially on the TPUSA side, because that's what she's talking about. She cannot control if it's another nation that was involved in it. But all these TPUSA guys, right, that are involved in it, you better do something because she said it. She's taking her time. She's got things on the side. She's got things on the side, sleeve cards, right? That she's just waiting. She's just waiting. She's giving you a chance. She's just waiting. But when she's going to drop it, it's going to be like a bomb, man. And he's going to take everything, right? So, yeah, that's where we at right now. And TPUSA, not TPUSA anymore. Just ask to the people who are going to TPUSA, right? So let me know what you think about this. And also, don't forget to subscribe. It's a long one. I thought that I was going to be able to make it short, but I couldn't. So forgive me about that. But talk to you guys later. And also forgive my English because sometimes I'm a little like I'm looking for words and all that stuff, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoy it. Click like, click share, click subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bye.